Thanks so much. So everyone has introduced me. I'm Donal. I work in the HR department as a HR recruitment administrator with ABM. Unfortunately, as Clea said, my co-worker Jeremy, also in the HR department as HR business partner, can't be here today as he's out sick. But I hope my knowledge can get through this presentation, and I hope it can be informative. And any questions, I'd rather become a question answer. We have a Q&A anyways at the end. I encourage if you have any questions to, of course, ask me any questions, and I'll be sure to answer them. I want to thank Talita and Open Doors for uh, giving me my chance to give this presentation to you. I really would love to see a lot of people here become along the ABM journey with us. It's a very interesting journey so far, as I don't know if you would know, but we were previously known as Momentum Support, and we became ABM from the 1st of April 2023 this year. So it's a new journey for all of us here at ABM, and we love to try and get a few new employees from this presentation. So without further ado, I'm going to start our ABM Job Shadow Day. So just to go over the agenda. So what I'm going to show first is the ABM overview, role responsibilities that are here at ABM, company benefits, what we can offer, career progression in ABM, our diversity, equity, and inclusion practices, the recruitment process, inclusive practices within ABM. I'm also going to give you tips on your CV and what to do and what not to do. Job interviews, of course, also very important, can be very nervous times for people, but we'll also give you job interview tips, how to answer questions, and I'll also have a few videos on how not to do an interview and how to successfully do an interview. So, and then we'll finish off with current live roles within ABM, and then as Clea said, we'll have a Q&A session, and any questions, once again, I would ask you to ask away and try and pick my brain. So just to start off, so an overview of ABM, the company. As I said, this is all about ABM, but previously we were known as Momentum Support. First it was Momentum Support, then Momentum Support and ABM Company, and we fully rebranded it over to ABM of 1st of April 2023 of this year. So who ABM are? ABM is a global organization with offices based in the US, the UK, and Ireland. Currently in Ireland, we have offices in Cork, Belfast, and our head office in Dublin. We at ABM provide essential facilities such as cleaning and security, mobility and parking solutions across a wide range of industries, from commercial offices, buildings, airports, hospitals, data centers, manufacturing plants, and many, many more. We're not just curtailed into one industry, we've loads of different industries around Ireland and the globe. So we at ABM are one of the world's largest providers of integrated facility services and a driving force for a cleaner, healthier, and more sustainable world. So just this is kind of our mantra as an ABM. So who we are, our purpose, our vision, and our mission. So our purpose is to take care of the people, spaces, and places that are important to you. Our vision is to be the clear choice in the industries we serve, to engage people, and our mission is to make a difference in every person and every day. We really value our employees and stuff at ABM. So ABM, we're stronger together. And this is just a couple of facts and figures about ABM on a global scale and our local scale here in Ireland. So globally, we have over 7 billion revenue. We have over 110-year history with ABM. And from being on calls with the US with ABM, they really do value their history and stuff like that. I think it was 1909 where the journey began with ABM. And they still have similar values. I know, of course, with ever-changing world, values have changed, but they're still trying to install the friendly nature that they did back in 1909. So we have over 23,000 clients worldwide. We have 5 billion worth of square feet served. We have over 125,000 team members worldwide. Now closer to home in Ireland, we've 17 million revenue generated over the past 40-year history as well. So just to go back, as in we were ABM only as recently. So what we were first, it all started with a dream from Colin Maben. Shout out to our former CEO, and he was Maben Support Services Limited. Was started as. Then we rebranded to Momentum Support, and now we're in the phase of ABM. So that is a brief history of where it started all in Ireland. And then in Ireland we have over 450 clients always growing as well. We have 6.5 million square meters served, and we have over 2,500 team members, and it's currently nearly at the 3,000 mark as well as we continuously grow throughout Ireland. So some of our clients, so we have a whole range of clients. This is only a few that I popped up here today. And we have stuff like Arnott's, Brown Thomas. We have the retail sector, Blanchetown shopping centres. We also have schools, offices such as Glandor, Ancestry Limited, the Charter Account Situation, SIG Financial Institute. And our big players will be our hospitals. We'd also have like St. James Hospital, the Mater Hospital, Tala Hospital, and other hospitals. We also acquired University Hospital Limerick there very recently. That contract started in October, which was a massive, massive contract. So we are continuously growing throughout Ireland in every different sector. So team. So team means something more at ABM. And it doesn't just start with team as in our employees, it's all the different teams that will come together, such as suppliers, our different partnerships, different businesses we work with, our clients. So our mission to make a difference, every person, every day begins with our team. So that includes our extended members. So our focus and commitment is valuing diverse suppliers, inclusive partnerships within the team and outside of our organization, and such partnerships like Open Doors here today. We really value our different partnerships that we are involved in, and supporting businesses, of course. What we do is literally support businesses by providing different operatives and different services to businesses. So we really believe in providing high quality services to our suppliers and our clients. And then we also want to lead with integrity. We ABM want to become a leader in this industry, not just in the services we provide, but different stuff like our diversity initiatives and helping people get through. We're not just about big money. Obviously, profits are important, but we also want to make a difference in the world, not just a profit-based company, you know? So that's what team means. So next I'm going to go on to our role responsibilities in ABM. So what kind of roles we can offer you as an employee with our company. So join our team. So this is a little recruitment flyer, what we have in our roles. So we always have roles available in our company, full-time and part-time positions, whichever you like to look for. So cleaning operatives, that would be our main kind of bread and butter with ABM. We have a number of cleaning operatives with a number of different sites. Industrial operatives, we also have an industrial team. The industrial team works out of head office, and this would also involve maybe like you kind of would need a driver license and stuff like that with industrial operatives, as you have to drive our cleaning products to different sites and stuff like that. That's what that would kind of involve. Then you'd have security operatives and officers. So with security operative, as you may know, you might need a PSA license. We have all the details on that anyways, but you'd have to go out to the PSA to actually acquire that license to first become a security officer with the company. And then we're also branching in, this is actually very exciting for ABM, it's facilities management technical solutions. So what is that, you may ask? That is more engineering roles. And currently we have a contract called Spirit up in the north of Ireland. So we're currently starting off in Northern Ireland with this. It's huge. It's a huge project that we're currently working on. One of our directors is currently headlining that. And it's to do with engineering roles, electrician roles, site managing roles, all these kind of different roles, kind of were kind of hired services. Or we were solved services in the clean operative as security officers. Now we're branching into that. And we're branching that only at the minute, we only have that in Northern Ireland. But we are currently trying to build on this in the Republic of Ireland and start to gain contracts in this. And as we mobilize that contract in Spirit, we can see it coming down the line as there's a lot of interesting and fantastic opportunities in them sort of roles. And of course, if you start off as clean operative, who knows, ABM would love to see people. We love seeing progress, as we'll see later on in this presentation. We love to see people progress with our company. And why join? So we have a competitive salary, fair commission, benefits. I'll talk about all about company benefits later on. And if you are joining, for this, we have our CV inbox, recruiting at abmireland.com. But I'd advise you to give your CVs to Talitha or whoever in Open Doors, and they'll come back to us, and we'll assure you that we'll try our best to find you a position with our company. So to dive more in about our role responsibilities, so our cleaning operative. So clean operative, we have basic responsibilities. you don't need any certificate or anything like that. If you have experience, that'd be fantastic. But we kind of like we get a sense in the interview process if you're going to be interested in the role or not. You know, we kind of want someone with a willing attitude who wants to work for the company, wants to progress with the company. We don't want someone to just come in and just take it. But we want someone that's going to come in, progress. Like we have so many people that came from clean operatives who are now in high level positions, and we love to devote our time and energy into employees to see that they want to work, they want the responsibility, and even after a few months, I've noticed a lot of employees get into supervisory positions, and they really work with the company. So just to give a bit out what clean operative responsibilities there is, just a small overview. So they're responsible for all basic cleaning on site. They monitor and maintain sanitation stations, perform all tasks as by their manager, and ensure equipment is kept clean and in good working order. So with a clean operative, there is obviously, as I said, we have different sectors. So it kind of is based on the environment you work in. You know, if you're looking for a challenge, a fast-paced environment, I'd advise you to go for the healthcare sector. And healthcare sector, as you know, can be a very fast-paced environment. At best of times, you can be working A&E, and it can be very interesting. You know, I've noticed a lot of employees befriend a lot of the patients and stuff like that there, and it can be a very kind of fulfilling place, and it's very fast paced, stuff like that. But you meet loads of new different people, and it's a very rewarding sector to work as a cleaning operative in our healthcare sites. And then it goes into different ones like schools. Schools more part-time roles, Monday to Friday. It kind of you're kind of off on the holiday season, so if you're looking for more of a part-time, easier kind of role, I'd advise you go for the school kind of roles. We have a number of different schools all over Dublin. Off the top of my head, we have Belvedere College, Santa Sabina, out in Dalkey. So there is a number of and then we also have office work as well. So if you want to clean offices and stuff like that, there's also them sectors as well, and plenty more in retail too. Also looking for Christmas staff at the moment, and you're if you do well and enjoy it in the Christmas staff, we can always find you another role in the company too. So then we go on to security officer. With security officer, as I mentioned, you have to go through the PSA first. You'd have to get a PSA license. I think they do a crash course for you. The training course is on the ICSE website. So if you need any more information on that, please do not hesitate to contact me. But you can't just apply for a security officer role with our company. If you don't have a PSA license, you won't be getting a role. But I'll tell you a bit about the security officer role. So with security officer roles, a lot of them can be night shift roles. As you know, the security officer has to be there at night time to make sure the building is secure and safe. So all generally like facility patrol, monitoring security systems, checking visitor passes, of course, firearm checks if needs be, and then report writing, of course, that would be very important as well. If an incident does occur, if you know a security breach does happen, you'd be first on call to write up a report and the incident that occurred. And then going into our industrial operatives, so that would be more pressure washing, bulk cleaning as well, GMP plant cleaning, more intense kind of cleaning and stuff like that. Car park public area maintenance. So a lot of our industrial operatives are based in our office kind of setting, so they'd be in charge of keeping car parks and maintenance of the gardens and stuff like that around as well. Uh, they'd also be involved with like our industrial sector of like the shelving units that have all our cleaning products and stuff like that. They'd all be in charge of all that, keeping a eye on all our stuff like that, and getting it out to all our different sites who need such things like the chemicals and the cloths and what have you. So once again, take care of the equipment, report any defective equipment if needs be as well to the manager or supervisor. So that is our role responsibilities. So next, I'm going to go on to company benefits, what we can offer you. So with ABM, what we can offer you is flexible working hours. Our site managers will be very lenient with people if you need different hours or like to change your shifts. Just come to your site manager and we'll offer you a flexible working hour time rate. If you want to go part time, if you need full time, if you need a day off, if you want to work a different day, we'll always try and work around your schedule as well, because we always like to think our employees have a work-life balance. Company events, this is also very interesting and it's even becoming more prevalent in ABM. So like reward shows. So recently there was the ABM regional roadshow. So only a few weeks ago, they booked out a hotel for us. A lot of operatives were there around the tables. It was absolutely a very wholesome event. Um, so what happened was that it was kind of a reward show. It was kind of like a little reward recognition. We got dinners and got cakes and stuff, and we had a little reward show for all our different employees who were successful throughout the year. And since the people that were successful through that have now gone over to the UK actually this week to go on the one ABM team and go on the regional roadshow as one ABM because we want to make sure to get across we're not just ABM Ireland, we're not just ABM UK, we're not just ABM US, we're one ABM. So it was a very nice company event that was the ABM Regional Roadshow, and they'll do that every year coming towards Christmas. Give out spot prizes. I think tickets to a Hosier concert was one of the spot prizes. Lovely vouchers. So I think that and company events really shows like how much we value you as employees. Because at the end of the day, our company is our clean operatives and security officers. We really do benefit from having a strong workforce who want to work for the company. So we also provide ongoing training with certification. So involves, once again, as I said, as a clean operative, you don't have to have training experience. We provide all the training, the BICS training, the manual handling training, any training you need with certificate, we provide it. And if you want to further yourself, we ask you to ask your site manager or your supervisor that you want to get more training and stuff like that, and we will provide it. We have our whole learning and development department. It's now grown since ABM come and are now reporting to UK. And there's so many more learning and development initiatives coming through on the likes of diversity and inclusion, how to become a supervisor. Like we have so much range. We also have a DCM learning platform, and we also have the ABM University. Our learning platforms have been like tenfold now that we've joined ABM. So there's so much chance for you to progress with our company. So as I'm going into now the access to ABM University is it's even new to me at the minute, but it's absolutely fantastic what sort of initiatives they can provide to my own career and like develop your careers as well. It's not you don't have to you can just be a cleaning operative. If you want to further your career, it really is with the ABM University, it's endless opportunities when it comes to training and certification. If you want to now, if you want to stay a clean operative, that is fine. But if you want to progress, we really do value career progression. And which I'm going into my next point, career progression is absolutely massive within the company. I know a number of employees, and you'll see further on in this presentation how prevalent career progression is within the company. We really want our employees because it saves time and money for us as well. We don't want to go out recruiting through agencies and the likes of Indeed. It saves money for us seeing internal employees get the best benefit out of our training sources and progressing within the company. And we're not going to just give you the job. We want you to see you progress as an individual and as an employee with the company. We also have a refer a friend scheme. So this is if you come and join our company, you refer a friend to also come. You'd also get a little pay packet with that then, maybe €50. I think it's 25 to €50, 25 for part-time, 50 for full-time. We're also looking to increase that to 100 and €250 over time. That's also another little incentive we give to employees who refer friends. Then we have an other reward recognition program. So we have the ABM Star Award. So what that is essentially if you're working, I've done fantastic things with the company in that month. It's kind of like an employee month scheme. So we refer you as an ABM Star Award, and that involves a little write up in our little internal newsletter, and you'd also receive a little gift voucher too. We also have an employee assistance program. So with our employee assistance program, our provider is Health Assured. So what this is, if you are struggling at home at all, if you need any extra support, we have counselors stuff there at your benefit. We always urge people, if you're going through any hard times at home, to contact our employee assistance program, and they will assure you to give you that extra help that you may need. So as I said, career progression. So this is Giselle Rodriguez. She has fantastically worked her way throughout the company. I give you a bit about a quote that she gave us. So Giselle came to Ireland in 2018 with the aim of learning English, and her first job was a part-time cleaner for Mentum Sports / ABM now, as we're known as. And her just to improve her English. As her English improved in 2019, she was promoted to site supervisor. So just literally 1 year with working with us, he was promoted to site supervisor, and I think that was with our Google site at the time. So in 2021, she applied for the position as a receptionist and office administrator. As the months went by, she started assisting with other activities such as communication, recruitment. The great thing about Giselle was she always wanted to get like she always wanted to dip her hand in. She like doing HR on the side of like a CRPD course and stuff like that. And she's always looking on her own initiative to try and progress her own career. And in August 2023, just gone by, she was promoted to operations support administrator. And she's really starting to build it in. And she literally, as I said, in the ABM Regional Roadshow, she literally just recently got an award and she was flown over to the UK, all expenses paid for. She was a part of one ABM team. I think she won Apprentice of the Year award, just showing how great she was. And we love to see Giselle and all employees progress. So she would say that ABM has played a fundamental role in her personal and professional growth. Inclusion and respect are values defended by the company, and that makes a total difference not only for nationals but also for immigrants, bringing equal opportunities and growth perspectives. That was a lovely quote from Giselle, just showing that we're not just one company that just believe in one. We love to see everyone and like all multicultures kind of like progress within the company. And it was lovely to see that from Giselle and how much great things she had to say about ABN. So another person is here, Shazad. We're going to talk about his career progression. Shazad's been with us since 2003. So he started with the company as the clean operative in one of our healthcare sites in Dublin. Through ongoing training and guidance provided by the company, Shazad is now a client service manager of a number of healthcare sites around Ireland with ABM. As ABM continues to grow, he's excited to see what the future will hold. So with Shazad, it's literally a really success story. He came to Ireland, started off at the bottom, a clean and operative, really worked together with company. We saw his potential, and he literally grew up as a site manager and then became a client service manager. A huge role, a lot of responsibility for Sad. Can be stressful, but he loves the job and he really does. Always a smile on his face, as you even see from the picture there. Shazad really does work hard, and the job he does, he's a fantastic worker with the company, and he rightly deserves that job as client service manager over a number of different sites. Huge role in the company. So next now I'm going to start talking about diversity, equity, and inclusion within the company. Obviously, diversity is a huge onus. It was even a huge onus when we were Momentum Sport, was even became more of an onus since ABM come in. What I've seen from them, the pillars that they've installed within the company, the teams they've given us, we're only seeing the start of it, but it's forefront within the company. It's not just like a lot of companies just say, oh, diversity, equity, inclusion, and it just becomes like a thing to say, but with it, it's what you do. And what ABM do with diversity, equity, inclusion is fundamental in the growth of this company. And we always believed in like multicultural, different perspectives. And you can see this with ABM. So their commitments to diversity, equity, and inclusion are as DE and I. So DE and I are core to the ABM culture. With ensuring that diversity in our team at all levels is good for our business and simply the right thing to do. Inviting different perspectives and driving inclusion enables us to connect meaningfully, adapt, and innovate. Giving our team members equal opportunities to learn and grow deepens our purpose to make a difference. So what we believe in ABM, we are one team, our core values guide us, and we strive for continual growth. So this is what we believe in diversity and inclusion. This is what it's going to provide. Like the one thing is what we believe in is like what diversity can deliver is different perspectives. With the kind of if it was just an Irish owned company and stuff like that, yes, you will be curtailed into believing like how you grew up. Different stuff like unconscious bias comes in there, like it's just the way it is. But with different cultures, how they see different things, it provides us with a huge onus on what our company can become, and that's why ABM have grown. And that's why I believe they believe in it so efficiently with diversity, equity, and inclusion. So to keep going on, so this is about the commitment to culture inclusion and what they provided in the culture inclusion team. So this is what has been installed at ABM since 2020, and we are already seeing it in the Irish foreground of things as well, with impact groups and internal diversity and equity inclusion training through the ABM University. This culture and inclusion team really have installed something in the Irish way of thinking as well. So the 2020 the Culture and Inclusion Council was created. It's dedicated to fostering diverse talent and driving meaningful social change and strengthening our communities. Not just in ABM, trying to show that we are a forefront, we are a four-player with diversity, equity, inclusion for other organizations to see us as an absolute forerunner in and to learn off us where to go with diversity. So what we want to do is develop inspirational leaders, empowering team members, growing up for our team, and creating a culture of belonging, whichever background you come from. We want all cultures, all walks of life feel belong in ABM. So this is a bit about our internal training that's came through the ABM University. We are also making strides to enhance the awareness and understanding of DE&I through learning and development opportunities. So this is what our inclusive council once again brought in. So teaching and supporting principles of DE&I to encourage acceptance of different groups, sexual orientations, different races, all the different grounds of discrimination that could be, so demonstrating how to do what is right and act with integrity, building a culture free from bias, stereotyping, and unnecessary labeling, as what you see sometimes in the world today. It's great to just build a clean slate of a free culture, free bias, free stereotyping, no unnecessary labeling, as you can see with social media nowadays and stuff like that. Little comments here and you see on Twitter and stuff like that, of course. But with our company, we don't believe in any of that. We just believe it's a free place to speak your opinion, and your own culture is never going to be discriminated against within ABM. So we promote diversity of thought across all cultural backgrounds, as previously said. We highlight intersectionality and diversity dimensions across race, gender, class, and sexuality. We identify microaggressions, macroaggressions to allow for increased awareness, empathy, and understanding of subtle forms of discrimination. And discrimination have to be direct in discrimination. I know even like the older generation of Irish people, not discriminating Irish people at all. I'm Irish myself, but just what you grew up with, it's kind of it's just installed from you at a very young level, and there can be just indirectly discriminating against you, not meaning it at all. It's just the way how people grew up, and everyone grew up with different sort of backgrounds and stuff like that. So it's how you grew up, and you can sometimes unconscious bias and indirectly discriminate. But we try and make it known. We give loads of training in recruitment selection training that I provide for the company. I talk about unconscious bias when it comes to the interview process. I make sure like to leave your unconscious bias at the door and to just see it as is and as a fantastic worker. So understanding the impact of bias on team member happiness, production, retention, and productivity. So that is also what we want. We want to provide a happy team because teamwork makes the dream work, as they say, and we want to retain them employees well. Make sure employee retention is, of course, a huge forefront as well in the company. So here is a quote from our CEO. So this is from the top level of our US branch, Scott Sanders, President and CEO of ABM Industries. So this is what Scott says. At ABM, we're committed to a culture of belonging where every team member feels connected, seen, and heard. Our leadership team and culture and including council are dedicated to cultivating an inclusive environment for everyone across the organization, and we're taking active steps to turn this vision into a reality. It is a top priority for our entire leadership and team. So that's something from Scott Sanders, our CEO. Just letting you know, like it's not just a thing that we say, it's literally being installed within our whole industry, not just the Irish branch, not just the UK branch. It's installed all over. He's literally what he's created. He's not just saying it. He's literally created the Culture and Inclusion Council, which has completely changed the way of thinking on our diversity and inclusion. And it's literally a fast forward the Irish branch immensely when it comes to diversity and inclusion. And it's not something he just speaks it, he also does, which is fantastic. And just a little fun fact about ABM Ireland, we have over 70 different nationalities currently working in the organization, and that's growing. So it's crazy how much different nationalities that you see, some fantastic personalities and nationalities that you see within ABM Ireland, and it continue. We love to see that grow as the years go on. So I'm now going to take a little break. If you want to get a glass of water or a cup of coffee or whatever you need, and then I'll go into more of our recruitment process, job interviews and CVs. But I now intend you maybe take a break. I say you're probably sick of listening to talk to me and blather on, so you can go talk away to yourselves, or if you want to go get a cup of water or coffee. And we'll meet back in about, it's now 11:40. If you want to meet back at quarter to, or maybe 46, 47 minutes past 11, that's fine by me. Is that okay, Talia?
Yeah, that's perfect. Thanks, Anna. So I'll see everyone back here in 5 or 6 minutes.
Yeah. Thank you guys. Thanks so much.
Thanks. I think we can start again. It's 11:47 already on my clock.
Everyone's back and
Difficult to tell.
excited. Excited to go again. Okay, so next stage, everyone, I'm going to go through as a recruiter, our process, what we go through, how we review CVs. Then I'm going to go through obviously your CV, job interviews, and so forth. So, without further ado, I'll go through the recruitment process. So, what I start with, anyways, is identifying first what we need within the company, what roles that need to be advertised, how do we create the role profile or the job description for the role. So each role obviously is different site specific. If it's healthcare, it needs different attributes and stuff like that. So I also make sure what the site manager is looking for and what kind of conditions they need. So that's what we first start with. The first step is preparing the job description and identifying what is needed within the company. So next step in the recruitment process is sourcing. So with sourcing is it's advertising the open role on our job boards and searching for potential candidates. So job boards we use Indeed, LinkedIn, Facebook even. So that is the next step in our recruitment process. Third step is screening. So with screening is where we review and shortlist candidates through their CVs. So this involves just briefly looking over the CV, only about me being a recruiter. I know it's not, we're intricately looking at, and as you can imagine, a clean up the role, there's about 100 CVs to come in. So it's literally just a 20-second, 30-second screen of the CV. And if there's a few bits that you kind of find that are interesting, then you'd go forward to the next stage. So first screening process, then you go back again and you screen what you shortlisted. You start screening the CV in more intricate detail. That's kind of more the screening process. So then next is selecting. So in the selecting stage of the recruitment process, it's where you interview the candidates. So from the screening, you've sieved down all the CVs. These are the candidates that you're going to interview in selecting stage. So first you do the first round, or some case it could be a second round interview, depending on the position. And then you have to decide if it's going to be over Microsoft Teams, as we are now, or the face-to-face if you're going to bring the potential employee on site, which is becoming more and more prevalent now because COVID, there was a stage where everything was on Microsoft Teams, but now, especially if you're going to be a security officer, clean operative, to kind of want it in person. I've noticed it's become more, although Teams is still used throughout the organization as well. So hiring stage is the next stage in the recruitment process. So that's selecting the successful interviewee, and then of course doing reference checks, making sure everything is sorted. And then the final stage is onboarding the candidate. So the successful candidate, we assist and support a new employee transitioning into a new role. So that's doing Garda vetting if needed. So of course, when it comes to working in schools and in the healthcare industries, you need to be Garda vetted. And then also in the onboarding process, you're giving your relevant internal training, such as the BICS cleaning chemical training and the manual handling training. That is the recruitment process in a whole with our company. Next is our recruitment platform is what we use to try and suss out candidates during the second stage, sourcing stage. So what we use preferably is Indeed. So if you see any jobs for us on Indeed, I'd advise you to apply. Me myself being the recruiter, I'd have full control of our Indeed job board. So if you want to apply through Indeed, it will be fantastic. Also, we have our own recruitment at ABM Ireland email. So yeah, I'd advise you to send your CVs towards that too, or as Talia has mentioned, give the CVs to Open Doors afterwards, and it'll be sent to me, and we will provide you with a course and interview. So next is the refer a friend scheme. As mentioned in company benefits, we get a lot of our employees from the refer a friend scheme, and it's a good initiative as well because you also get paid if you work with us and you refer a friend. Other stuff is newspapers, the local newspapers, people that wouldn't be using social media and stuff like that. We kind of get it out on different sources then, such as the radio as well and local newspapers, try and sort jobs. Or also we also do notices around colleges and stuff like that. So like now hiring posters. So you'd see it if you're going to schools. I don't know if you're doing we get a lot from the English schools. We put up our posters there, and people contact us and stuff like that. And that's how we get many of our roles. So next I'm going to talk about inclusive practices that we are involved in with our company. So internal kind of recruitment practices, what we believe in, and to help people grow in the business. So first is our internal recruitment memo. So this is something I deliver out to everyone in the company. It shows everyone that works in the company what kind of opportunities are currently live in the company. And if you want a change of scenery or if you want to progress in the company, this internal recruitment memo allows you to apply for any job that you seem fits you. So once again, provides employees with an update on any open opportunities that are available in the organization. Community each week to all employees. So every Wednesday, I send out that internal recruitment memo to all employees, and yeah, so allows employees to progress within the organization, as previously said. And just a little note that ABM is an equal opportunities employer. Whoever applies, it doesn't no matter race, sexuality, gender, traveling background. Uh, we are an equal opportunities employer, and we stand by that in everything we do. So here is another inclusive practice of what we do. Here's some of our employees. There's the lovely Giselle and Katie and Christina and myself. So this is what we do as well. We like to go out into the communities and do our own open days, meet with potential employees, tell them about our company, give them little insights into us, a few pens, a few flyers, and a few sweets and stuff. Just a little incentive to we want them to know about us, let them know who we are, what we do, and how we'd love for you to join our company. And another practice is our employability partnerships. So we really do value our employability partnerships. We have stuff like Walk, CTech, Open Doors, as Fleet knows, of course, CEDA, Core, Dublin South City partnership, Intro, who do the Open Doors, Swan Society. So we try and find loads of different employees from all these different walks of life through all these employability partnerships. And we do value our employability partnerships well, like Open Doors, what they've done for us, all our employees. They've provided fantastic trainings for our employees, such as the disability awareness training, off the top of my head, or assistive technology training, such as using ChatGPT, I think, and different assistive technologies. So what our employability partnerships does for us is fantastic, and we really value our partnerships. What we give to them and what they give to us is really fundamental with our company, and it really helps us with our employees as well, what they provide, like yourselves and different employees. We've gotten so many different success stories from our employability partnerships with different candidates they've provided. So next I'm going to go through your CV now, and I'm going to give you a few do's and don'ts as a recruiter, and all the millions of CVs I've seen throughout my career, what we look for and what we want to see. So if there's anything you take out of this, these next few slides on interviews and CVs is very, very like fantastic what you can take out of it, and what you can do with your CV then after this. Even if you don't apply for ABM, although hopefully you do, but if you don't apply for ABM, it's great to take this and just take this away, go back to your CV and apply for different jobs. And I really hope to see take this away and get a job in the near future anyways. So with your CV, so what recruiters want to see? So 2 pages only. No one wants to see a whole 6-page essay of loads of writing. At the end of the day, you might think it's, oh, fantastic, I've done all this. But at the end of the day, that's not what recruiter wants to see. They literally just want to break down where you've worked, what you've done, achievements, something so small. Just like we want to see it informative but concise. We don't want to see essays of writing. 2 pages only. It's kind of like a resume, just literally 2 pages, brief description, and just hitting the facts, hitting the point, not long-winded sentences or making it all picturesque. We just literally want 2 pages. Clearly laid out and easy to read. Don't have it all over the place. Like you start on one point here and you go back to it on another stage. Literally make sure it's just easy to read, clear, concise. Plenty of white spaces. Then don't have it all conjuncted up. It just doesn't, like, for a psychological aspect. I know being a recruiter, if I see it all like height it up, like real trying to force it into the 2 pages, it just doesn't look presentable. It doesn't look nice. makes it even hard to read because all the words are kind of going in mumbled in together, and you kind of lose your line of where you are. So I'd advise you make it clear, concise, plenty of white spaces on the page, and of course informative and concise is next. Accurate in content, grammar, and spelling. That is so important. If your content, grammar, and spelling isn't correct, like where do you even go from there? Like, and like you won't believe, even on senior positions that I've seen CVs, the grammar and spelling was incorrect. And it just looks bad. I think a survey was done with eBay, and you won't be 70% of CVs that are sent in. There's either a spelling mistake or a grammar mistake within the CV. 70% CVs, and that can easily be stopped just reading over two, three times before you send out your CV, making sure all the spellings are correct, because it just shows the recruiter, like, if you had no time to check over spelling stuff like that, what will your attention to detail on the job will be? It all That's what a recruiter does be thinking about, you know. So just make sure that your grammar and spelling is correct. And then another thing about your CV is target to the specific job role applied. Don't continuously use the same CV for every single job. I know it is can be time consuming, but it really does show the recruiter that you really want to work for the company. Also, leaving a cover letter, something like that as well, is also shows that the company that you really want the job. You know, just a cover letter saying like, "Dear sir or madam, I wish to apply for the role," and just say a bit about yourself. And it just shows that you really are interested in the role and you're targeting that role. And in the CV, make sure when you're talking about your key profile, stuff like that, make sure you're saying about why you want to work in the cleaning industry or the security industry or whatever industry you're applying for. Just make sure it shows you're more intriguing in that role. It's not just a generic CV that you're sending now willy-nilly. You don't know which job you're applying for when they call you. Make sure you target your CV to that specific role. Okay, so here is an example of a CV. So as you can see, clear white spaces, not all conjoined together. It's clearly adapted into different titles. At the top, of course, what their name is, all their stuff like that. So, so as I have here, headings in bold and are in italics. So that's what we look for here. So make sure your headings are clearly seen, who you are, your address, your number, your contact details. Make sure it's obvious, well, clearly laid out on the page. Should be bigger than all the other font on the page. Uh, Use professional fonts. Don't use like cartoon fonts, stuff like that. Once again, looks very unprofessional. You're trying to be professional in the trying to get employed, so it's the professional industry. So we used like Arial, Times New Roman, or Calibri. So font styles, I won't have it screaming. Once again, you want it in one page, two pages. So you want to have font styles like 12 or less, maybe 11 or 10 even. I'd suggest maybe 11 or 12 for the title of the paragraph, and then maybe 10 for the body of the paragraph. So then next is all bullets and paragraphs aligned. Make sure that's another thing as well. That can be a pet peeve for me anyways. If your bullets are all over the place, like your bullets up here are uh not in line with the bullets that are down below, you know, and make sure, like, as you can see here, the bullets are in line with the 2013, 2012, and 2005. Make sure that that is concise throughout the whole CV, and you're not having bullet points at one part of it and then bullet points over to the other side. It just attention to detail. Once again, it just shows you don't really care. And then once again, bullets consistent and plain. You're not having bullet points and then having arrows, or you're having A, B, C, D. Make sure if you're doing bullet points, you're doing bullet points. If you're doing numbers, you're doing numbers. Just it just shows that you're consistent with what you do. Okay, so your CV now, what to include, so what headings and stuff like that to include in your CV. So first, as you saw on top of that, it's your personal information. This involves name, address, LinkedIn profile. Then it's your personal profile. So this is a little bit about yourself. So it's a short statement outlining your personal and professional characteristics. So I'll go back to the one there. So here is the personal profile for this person, Quiva Jordan, an adaptable, conscientious, and enthusiastic office junior with passion for career in administration. So all this is your personal profile. Just a little small piece about yourself, a small paragraph. And then next you go into key skills. So abilities you can offer for the employer. Example, communication skills, organizational skills, you're proficient in Microsoft Office, Excel and whatnot. Then you go into your education and training first before you go into work experience. So beginning with your most recent, so you want to see what you did in 2023 or 2022 first. I don't know if you're doing a bachelor's degree or some certification or a language course also can be involved, or any sort of training course. And then you go start to dive into work experience. So when it comes to work experience, include the date of employment, the company name, and then the duties that you worked on. It's always good to give a few duties and maybe a small little overview of the company. I'd say as well who they are, what they've done, and what you did for that company. Also very good to have in the work experience. And then after that, it goes into additional information. Say if you have a full clean driving license, you can put that on your CV. All employers would love to see that. A safe pass if you're going into the construction industry. It's good to have a safe pass. Or in this case, if you're applying for a security officer, it's good to have a PSA license and outline that in the additional information section. Also, if you speak more languages as well, looks very good on the CV as well, especially knowing us if there's like if you have to interpret for another employee. I know when different stuff come up and it's great if you're bilingual, we might come to you for looking at you to translate maybe to different employees and stuff like that. So it really looks good on a CV if you put down the different languages that you're prevalent in. And then next is interest and hobbies. It just gives a recruiter a complete picture of you, you know. And I wouldn't advise putting in like hobbies that are kind of like, you know, makes you look like you're not interested in stuff. Maybe more hobbies that are more like I'd say like I captained my football team. It showed that you showed leader and initiatives, you know, it kind of gives it more of a oost. Not that you just I play football, you know, it kind of just oh, you know, I'm getting you play football. But show in your hobby section like we're not trying to make friends here, you know. You're trying to show what you it's another way I kind of try and show I do this, I captained my football team, I showed my initiative. It's just a little in and out and it shows that you have leading experience, stuff like that. Little things like that you want to be thinking about. Because at the end of the day, you're just trying to get a job, you're trying to impress an employer. And next, I'd always say with references available upon request or available on request. I'd always say that for references. And then the recruiter will come and contact you if you're successful, and then they'll look for your references. But always have that instead of just with a GDPR kind of breach. Kind of we're always kind of trying to keep it as available on request. Okay, so what not to include in CV. So now here's the kind of don'ts of your CV. So too much information. Once again, try and keep it to 2 page, informative and concise. No one wants to see a 6 page essay, as I said. You know, like I went to the shop. Like you don't want like a whole full sentence. Just like informative sentences, concise. Spelling mistakes and grammatical errors. Also, as I previously said, no one wants to see that. Attention to detail is paramount. It's the first thing you kind of look at in CV. If your attention to detail is not there, then I can guarantee you'll be find it hard to get employed with the company. It actually is about your qualifications. If you say you can do this and do that, and it comes out that you don't, that that would be immediate suspension, and pending an investigation, you will probably be dismissed if it shows that you have inactively lied on your CV. So I'd always say be truthful in what you say. In any words, you can stretch the truth, but not don't lie about qualifications, stuff like that. It just comes back to bite you at the end of the day. So irrelevant personal information. So don't put your age and stuff like that on the CV. It just there's no need for the person to see your age. It doesn't no job requires people to know your age. You can just give a chance for the recruiter to discriminate against it. You know, if you put down your age, there's no need to put down your age or your date of birth, because it's not relevant to the job. But if you put down your age, it might give a chance for them to discriminate against you. But you would never know, like, you know, so you like never put down your age or date of birth or any irrelevant personal information that's not needed. So negative comments about your former employer, I would definitely advise you not to do that. If you start saying stuff like, "Oh, I was employed in this, but didn't get along with my manager," and that'll just look like bad on you that you're trying to work with, and it just comes off bad. And I can tell you, if you start putting negative comments about your employer, what negative comments will you put about your new employer? So it won't look well. Passive language. Remember to use action words like I'm an adaptable, conscientious individual. I can adapt to certain uh surroundings. Don't say like, "Oh, I am good at this," but like say like, "I have done this and I am excellent at progressing in my career, and and working on your own initiative, try and use like these action words that like really grasps the recruiter in seeing what interests you. And a solid wall of text. Ensure CV has structure. Once again, do as in like as I said, have it as that like your personal information, personal profile, key skills, education, training, work experience. Have it all like that in line, exactly like that, like 1 to 8. If you have it like that, you follow that solid wall of text, and it's structurized, has bullet points, has the dates, the years you're employed. It's all in line. It'll be fantastic to include in your CV, and I can guarantee you, presentation really does mean a lot on your CV. And there's a few more top tips. So as we said, keep all font styles and size consistent. Use the same bullets throughout. Ensure all text line up, as previously said. Ensure your CV is easy to follow. Sort by year, most recent first, as said. Include all relevant information, like your job title, of course. Sell yourself professional skills and qualities. So, like, even if you think, oh, I did volunteer work, should I put that down? Of course, put that down in the additional information bit. I volunteered. It shows that you're showing you're really selling yourself. That's what we want to do on the CV, because you're not at the interview stage, don't know who you are yet. It's just a piece of paper. You want to sell yourself. Make sure there's no career gaps. And if there is, explain these. Maybe you went on a year's traveling or something like that. So if there is career gaps, make sure you know how you can explain it. Know when to use a full stop on bullet points. Not all bullet points require full stops. So to make sure when to use it. Save document as your name CV. So don't have your I've seen it sometimes, people hand in their CV and they have like applied for a healthcare assistant with St. James Hospital, and then their name on the CV, but like it just showed that you use the CV somewhere else, you know. So always save your document just to be safe as Weaver Jordan CV as there, or Donald Cochran CV, or Talia Holder CV. Leave it as that, simple as that. So next I'm going to go on to job interviews. So this is the job interview process. It's the next stage after selecting will be the job interviews stage. So give you a brief about job interviews. Job interviews are the most common way for employers to find suitable candidates for open roles at their companies. Always has been. I think it always will be. It's just the best way to go and select an employee. So typically, a job interview is a situation in which a hiring manager and a candidate meet to discuss how the candidate's experience relates to the open position at a company. So there's the stages of the selection process. So there's the phone call interview. So this is just the initial giving you a call, seeing if you're still interested in the role, kind of what's your availability like for interview. So online virtual interview then goes next. So Microsoft Teams, Zoom. Uh this is more like if you're doing first round, second round kind of thing. So this would kind of be more first round. You kind of ask stuff like what do you know about the company, uh why are you interested in role, why do you want this role, um stuff like that. And then it goes into the face-to-face interview. Uh, especially if you're going for more office senior roles, kind of supervisory roles, you go more like competency based question roles, and it asks like what would you do in this situation and stuff like that. Kind of they're trying to implore like your experience and like how you used your initiative and experience in previous roles. So how to prepare an interview? Obviously, interviews can be very scary, nervous times, but I know being an interviewer myself, that we always try and make you as comfortable as possible, because we know we want to get the best out of you and we want to see you do the best interview as well. Not trying to attack you, not trying to like scoop you up at all. We want to see you prepare and be ready for an interview. So what to do to prepare for an interview? So carefully examine the job description always before you go into an interview. See what the employer is looking for. Have a look and relook at the job description, what they want out of you, what you're going to be responsible for. Think of different scenarios that you've done in your previous life in that job description, and how you can answer questions that they could ask in relation to the job description. So perform research on the company and the role. First question I always ask when I'm in an interview is, what do you know about us here at ABM? And I'd love to see people like, if I know they don't know anything, I'm always like, okay, you didn't really care enough to research the company. Why should we progress with your application? You know, so always do your own research on the company, just even little stuff, who we are, what we do, just small bits. It just makes you look like, okay, this person really did care and he did really research about the company. Consider your answers to common interview questions. Always look up a few interview questions. There's plenty online. Just think of answers that you think out your life, what you've went through. through your work life and how you can answer them questions. Practice your speaking voice and body language. Always make sure you're not slouched if you're in the interview room. Always present yourself. Always practice your speaking voice. Make sure you're clearly speaking, slowly as well. Make sure to understand you. Prepare questions that you will ask the interviewer. Always, always, always make sure to ask an interviewer a question at the end of the interview. It just makes it look like you're interested, you're being prepared, and it just looks fantastic when you ask like, also tell me what it's like to work for ABM. Just ask something like that. It's always nice to ask some sort of question at the end of the interview. If you're there like, oh no, I have no questions really. It just makes you look uninterested once again. And once again, I'd always say ask a question at the end of the interview. Uh, if you really want to go for it, like it's a real important job, conduct mock interviews with friend or a spouse or whatever, conduct mock interviews and ask them to ask you questions across the table. Make it kind of like in a formal way across the table and stuff like that. And make it kind of in a setting in the mock interview that it's like in an interview setting, not just like on the couch, just ask questions. It's a bit like maybe dress formally during a mock interview and stuff like that. And it just prepares you for an interview very well when it comes to the stage. And then prepare travel arrangements well in advance. It looks terrible if you're going along for an interview and you're like, oh, my bus didn't arrive or something like that. So make sure when you know there's an interview for you on site, make sure you're there well in advance, maybe 5 minutes before the interview starts. I'd always say make sure you prepare your travel arrangements because it just looks bad. But we as interviews, we have time. We're on an interview schedule. We have loads of different interviews to go through, and it would put a sore taste in interviewers' mouth if you are coming late to the interview. So next, we're going to talk about competency-based interviews. I don't know if you're familiar with these competency-based interviews. It's kind of like, tell me about a time where you've done this kind of questions. So competency-based interview is a style of interviewing used so that candidates can best show how they would demonstrate certain behaviors and skills in the workplace by answering questions about how they have reacted and dealt with previous workplace situations. So the principle is to show that past behavior is the best indicator of future performance. So examples of competency-based questions. So like discuss a time where you demonstrated excellent organizational skills. Please advise me of a time where you demonstrated adaptability and accuracy in a work task. Discuss a time where you worked successfully as a member in a team. So it's just literally showing how you worked like on your different organization skills, how your teamwork skills are. Like we're just trying to find previous life experience that you can show how you've dealt with these situations. And I think most interviews now are kind of gone competency-based route. When it comes to, I know all the interview guides I've created have all been competency-based, and that's the way it's all going. So how to answer competency-based questions then? I think you might be familiar with the STAR method. So the STAR method here is situation, task, action, and result. I use a different method, which I'm going to show you, which is a bit more easier to remember. So situation is to introduce the situation to the employer and set the context. Task is to describe the task you had to complete, including the expectations and challenges that were involved. And the action is how you overcame this task. And the result is like what was the result of overcoming the task and over the result of the whole action. So that is the STAR method. I'd always go a different method. I think it's the next method is more easy to remember and it's given the same kind of vibe of the STAR method, but it's just an easier kind of method in my view. So this is how I believe competency-based interview questions should be answered. So this is like STAR method. It's called BAC. It's BAC, background, action, conclusion. That's all we're looking for. So they ask you the question, describe best time. Just say candidate should provide details of the situation. For example, detail what, when, where, who, what happened. Action, how you showed your initiative. Candidates was detail their contribution to the scenario. For example, detail their skills, behaviors, attributes, knowledge, and knowledge used. Sorry. So that's the action, and then conclusion. What happened afterwards? Candidate must detail the outcome of the scenario, the key learnings, and things they might do differently next time something like that occurs. That's the easiest way I think to remember background, action, and conclusion when it comes to competency-based interviews. So how we in ABM, how we score interviews. So this is our AB interview assessment form. As you can see, poor, fair, average, good, excellent. Very hard to get into excellent stage now, to be honest. We go on functional experience, it's all competencies, customer focus, teamwork and collaboration, effective communication criteria, and in total. I'll take a drink here, guys. Yeah, so then that is what we're scored on the competency. So scoring will be based on whether the candidate meets the criteria as set out in each of the competency areas. A score will be given based on the evidence demonstration of knowledge given by the candidate of their interview. So to pass the interview, ABM, you need a total of 42 points. So that's about 70% and being applicable for the role. So you need to be hitting the good average kind of fair, maybe one fair or something like that, but you need to be hitting in that them marks, the 3, 4. And if you can get 5, you're a fantastic worker. To be fair, and you really do shine interviews. But yes, that's how we score our interviews. Just to give you a little overview of what we're looking at here in the interview sheet and what you're being scored on. So next, I'm going to show you an example of a bad interview and a good interview. I just want to make sure first the sound is correct when I share my screen, Lisa. If you could tell me if you can hear the sound.
Donna, I was just gonna say, I think we don't have too much time and the videos are a bit long. I was thinking of maybe
Okay.
sharing that with everyone and they can watch it
Okay,
afterwards.
I'll send them
Because
out.
we
I'll
only
send
have
them out.
12 minutes left.
Okay, I completely lost track of time. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry,
No
folks.
worries.
I completely lost track of time there. Yeah, so just to give you an overview on interviews, don't come up tardiness or late. Make sure you ask questions to the employer, make sure your body language is correct. You show interest in the role, you don't say anything about you fell out with your last employer and stuff like that. Don't mention anything like that in the interview and stuff like that. But I'll go on then. I'll pass these on then to Lisa or whoever has attended today, and you can see the difference between a bad and a good interview. Okay. So current live roles in ABM. So currently we in the Republic of Ireland, we have a number of healthcare cleaning operative roles in our Tala Hospital in Limerick, in St. James Hospital in Dublin. We also have retail roles in our Brown Thomas in Dundalk and Marshes. In Clarny, we also have clean up roles coming for Christmas staff for Blanchardstown, I know. So there is a number of roles currently available in Republic of Ireland. And then we go to Northern Ireland. We have engineering roles, as I said, they're the more the hard services that we've branched into there. In our Spirit Belfast, we have cleaning up roles in loads of the retail sector there too, and then our schools as well in the college up in Coleraine and Derry. So there is a number of roles if you want to relocate to Northern Ireland or Republic of Ireland, just let ABM know, and we'll try and find your role in any of our different industries. So that is a recap on what we have currently went through. So we went to the ABM overview, role responsibilities, company benefits, career progression, diversity, equity, inclusion, the recruitment process, inclusive practices, your CV, job interviews, and your current life roles in ABM. So I now employ you. I haven't got to check the chat box or anything like that. So if you have any questions at all, I would love to ask to ask in the chat box.
So Sarah just asked if you can share the available roles, which yes, we will share those after the event today.
Yeah, I will essentially a PDF of this whole PowerPoint presentation. So you can check the videos, the current live roles in ABM, and of course Talita then will get your CV off you and then give it to me, and I'll do my best to get an interview sorted with you once you apply for the role.
Yes, remember to send. So I sent the format there for the email and the email address to send it to. So once you get the presentation, go through it. If you're interested in a role, send it to info@pathwaystoprogress.ie and use the subject line just ABM CV for and then the name of the role, just so we know which role you're interested in. If there's a specific location or anything, you can just put that in the body of the email, just so we know which role you're interested in. And then we'll share all of the CVs that we get with Donald next week, and he'll be in touch soon. So any questions? I know everyone's on mute because it's a Teams webinar, that's how it works. But if you use the raise hand function on the top there, I can unmute you, or you can just send your question on the chat and I'll read it out loud. And while we're waiting, I might ask something, Donald, if that's okay.
Yeah, it's really fine, man.
Because we support a lot of people that want to work in security, and one of the questions that we get a lot is about the PSA license. So
Mhm.
how to apply, how much does it cost, what type of course is needed, and so
Of
on. So
course.
if you wanted to provide some kind of clarity
Yeah.
around that, that would be great.
So with security, as previously said, there has to be a PSA license before you apply for a job. Your CV won't be recognized. And with the PSA license, it's cost €90. So it costs nine. And as a company, we don't pay for the PSA license. That's separate. So what you have to do, you look up on PSA.ie. They put you through a training course on the ICSE website. And then you go through a training course. I think it's a 2-day course or a 2-week course. I'm not sure. It got updated in 2023, the training course. So I think it has become more prominent in what they do. I'm not sure what the course does involve itself, but it is €90 cost, and the ICSE website is where the training course comes. And then you apply for your PSA license through PSA.ie. And yeah, so that's what the PSA license incurs.
Great. Yeah, I just sent a link to Fetch courses there on the chat because they have security courses. You just have to make sure so you can ask the organization that provides it if that course is valid for the PSA license before you start. I think it has to be QQI level 4, but anyway, you can check that with the organization directly. We got a question about if you have any vacancies for accounting, like bookkeeping, payroll, etc.
Currently, no. The jobs do tend to be filled fairly quick, and they do stay filled. There's a lot of potential in the accountancy bracket in our, last November was the last time as in November 2022 was the last time we employed an accounts administrator. But office roles do come up. I know there does be operations support administrators, loads of different administrator roles. I don't know if it's just payroll and accounting you'd be looking for. But at the minute, our payroll department. But as I said, ABM coming in now, our departments have significantly, uh, um, double folded really, like with loads of different opportunities. So as opportunities come up, I'd always make sure you check out on Indeed and stuff like that. And even if you want to send your CV to the recruitment@abmireland.com email telling about your accountancy experience and stuff like that. Currently, there does be roles coming live, and as we grow, there will be a number of different roles being available in the company. But at the moment, I'm afraid not. There is no roles in them departments.
I would advise for those interested in accounting, bookkeeping, and so on, to join our mentorship program if you haven't already, because we have lots of mentors with a background in finance, accounting, and so on, and they can help you, identify the right companies and jobs to apply for, and how to work on your CV, prepare for interviews, and so on. So you can reach out to us directly if you're interested in that. I don't
Any
think
more
we're
questions?
getting any. Well, there's someone typing,
No.
but
Okay.
it was
Okay.
just thinking.
No matter. Um,
So, well, if there are any other questions, maybe later in the day you think of something, feel free to email me directly and I can pass it on to Donald.
excellent.
I will send those slides later today as well, and I will give you guys until next Wednesday to send me your CV. If you want to send your CV before that so we can review it, we'll also do that. And then on Wednesday afternoon, evening, we'll send that list of CVs to Donald as well, and then he'll be in touch with those who are invited for an interview. So thank you so much, Donald. That was really,
Thanks
really
so much.
great.
And just on behalf of ABM, I just want to say thanks so much for everyone who joined, and thanks so much, Leah. You've been an absolute star to work with, and I would like to give the presentation on behalf of ABM. So thanks so much for everyone who joined.
Thank you, Donald, and thanks everyone for joining.